You want to know what it's like living in this body? Picture a foot-long sub with a spine made of wishbones. That's me. That's the situation. Every single day, I watch you scroll past those little videos, the ones where I'm waddling up the stairs or my butt's doing that thing where it kind of fishtails when I run, and you laugh. You send it to your friends. Oh my God, look at his little legs. Look at him go. Yeah, hilarious. Meanwhile, my back is one bad jump away from, I don't know, catastrophe. Actual catastrophe. You ever heard of IVDD? Intervertebral disc disease? No? Of course not, because nobody puts that in the caption under the cute video. My spine is basically a stack of crackers held together by hope and whatever cartilage I've got left. And every time I leap off that couch, which you let me do, by the way, you just sit there, I'm rolling dice. And the thing that really gets me, you designed this. Not you personally, but your species. Somebody looked at a normal-sized dog and thought, what if we made the legs shorter but kept the body the same length, and then kept doing it for centuries, just kept going. Shorter, longer, like some kind of cursed accordion experiment. I'm not being dramatic. Ask your vet. Actually, don't ask your vet, because you only go to the vet when I'm already limping. By then, it's a whole production. The crate, the car, the waiting room that smells like bleach and fear. My spine is not a punchline. It's a load-bearing structure in a body that was never engineered to bear it. I can't reach the counter. Fine, I've made peace with that. But you think short legs are just an aesthetic? Like somebody picked the fun size option and that was that? These legs are doing the work of legs twice their length. Every step I take, my joints are absorbing force they were never meant to handle at this angle. My elbows? Wrecked. My wrists? Yeah, dogs have wrists, look it up, are under constant lateral stress because my whole front end is basically cantilevered forward over two stubby posts. And here's the part you really don't think about. I was bred to herd cattle. Cattle, animals that outweigh me by about, 1,000 pounds? More? The original idea was that I'd be low enough to dodge their kicks. Great plan. Except now I'm not herding cattle. I'm navigating your hardwood floors, and my body is still built for a job I will never, ever have. So instead of dodging hooves, I'm slipping on your kitchen tile, blowing out my cruciate ligament chasing a tennis ball, and developing arthritis by age 6. 6? That's like, 35 in your years? Imagine needing a knee replacement at 35 because your skeleton was designed for a job you got fired from before you were born. And you know what makes it worse? You think it's cute when I sit weird, when my legs splay out behind me like a little frog. That's not cute. That's my hips telling me they don't fit in their sockets right. But sure, take the photo, post it, call it Sploot. You bought a lint roller last week, your third one this month, and you looked at me. You looked right at me, like I was doing this on purpose. I have a double coat, 2 layers of fur, operating on 2 completely different schedules, and neither one of them cares about your black pants. The undercoat is this dense, woolly insulation layer that sheds out in clumps, not strands, clumps, twice a year. Massive, tumbleweeding clumps that drift across your floor like some kind of fur migration. The top coat? That one just sheds constantly, quietly, relentlessly, 365 days a year. No breaks, no off-season. And you act surprised every single time. Oh my God, there's fur everywhere. Yeah, there is. There was yesterday too, and the day before, and every day since you brought me home. This isn't new information. You just keep not adjusting. You know what would help? Brushing me, regularly. Not once a month when you suddenly remember I exist below the neck. I'm talking every couple of days, with an actual undercoat rake, not that little plastic thing you bought at the grocery store that does absolutely nothing except make us both frustrated. But instead, you vacuum around me like I'm the problem. You side-eye my bed. You pick individual hairs off your sweater one by one, like some kind of sad, defeated archaeologist. I didn't choose this coat. You chose me. And somewhere in that decision, you skipped right past the part where every breeder, every website, every single person who's ever owned a Corgi says the same thing. They shed. A lot. Constantly. Without mercy or remorse. You stuck me in 700 square feet. 700. With a couch, a coffee table, and a rug I'm not allowed on. And then you act confused when I start circling your ankles like you're a sheep that wandered off. I was built for this, not the apartment, the herding. My legs are short, but my brain is wired to move things, organize things, keep things in a group and point it in the right direction. You know what I've got to work with? You shuffling between the kitchen and the bathroom. That's my flock. That's what I've been reduced to. And yeah, I nip at your heels. You think I'm being rude. You go, bad dog, stop that. I'm not being rude. I'm doing my job. The only job I was ever designed to do. And you took it away and replaced it with a squeaky toy shaped like a taco. I can feel it in my chest. This buzzing. Like the engine's running, but there's nowhere to drive. You come home, you sit on the couch, you scroll your phone. I'm pacing. I'm watching the cat. I'm staring at the door. You think I'm restless. I'm not restless. I'm unemployed. Give me something to do. Anything. An obstacle course made of pillows, a ball I gotta push into a corner. Literally just scatter treats around the apartment and let me find them. I don't need a farm. I just need you to stop pretending I'm a throw pillow that eats. You called the trainer. I know you called the trainer because you came home smelling like treat pouches and frustration, and you started using that voice, that new voice, overly cheerful, slow, like you're talking to someone who doesn't speak the language. I speak the language fine. I just disagree. That's the part nobody warned you about. You Googled Corgi temperament and it said what? Loyal? Funny? Great family dog? Sure, all true. But nobody put, will look you dead in the eye and decide on purpose not to sit in the breed description. That would have been useful information. I know what sit means. I learned it in like 2 days. I also learned that sometimes sitting gets me nothing, and sometimes not sitting gets me more of your attention, which frankly is more interesting than a dried liver cube. You think I'm dumb. I can see it on your face. You're standing there with the treat, doing the hand signal, repeating the word like maybe I didn't hear you the first 4 times. I heard you. I'm making a choice. There's a difference. And then you tell your friends, oh, he's so stubborn, like it's a defect, like something went wrong in the manufacturing. Nothing went wrong. I was bred to make decisions in a field, alone, without waiting for some guy on a horse to tell me what to do. Independent thinking was the whole point. You just didn't expect it to be pointed at you. $4 extra pounds. That's all it took. 4 pounds, and suddenly my back started doing this thing, this clicking, this tight, hot feeling right behind my ribs when I jump off the couch. You didn't notice for weeks, by the way. Weeks. Here's what nobody tells you when you bring home a Corgi. I am a machine designed to gain weight. My metabolism looks at a dental chew and goes, cool, storing that. I'm short, I'm long, and gravity is not on my side. Every extra ounce goes straight to my spine. And my spine is already doing more structural work than it should be. Because, and I cannot stress this enough, I am basically a full-size dog on training wheels. You think you're being kind with the extras, the little piece of cheese when you're cooking, the crust from your sandwich, the, oh, one more won't hurt treat after dinner. It will hurt. It hurts me, specifically my L4 vertebra, which is currently holding together like a rubber band stretched between two pencils, or maybe like a bridge made of popsicle sticks that someone keeps driving a truck over. IVDD. Look it up. Intervertebral disc disease. It's not rare for us. It's not a freak accident. It's the thing that happens when a long back carries too much weight for too long, and one day something just gives. I'm not asking for a diet because I care about aesthetics. I'm asking because I'd like to be able to walk when I'm 9. That's it. That's the whole ask. Oh, you thought you were getting a quiet little loaf? A dignified palace dog who sits politely by the fireplace? Yeah, about that. I bark. I bark a lot. I bark at the mailman, the neighbor's cat, the wind, that one plastic bag that moved weird on the sidewalk last Tuesday. I barked at your friend Kevin when he came over, and I barked at him again when he stood up too fast. Kevin knows what he did. And you stand there going, why is he like this? Like it's some mystery. Like I'm broken. I'm not broken. I'm doing my job. I was bred to move cattle. Cattle. Animals that outweigh me by about 1,000 pounds. You think I kept them in line by being polite? I kept them in line by being loud and relentless and absolutely unwilling to shut up until the job was done. That instinct didn't go anywhere just because you swapped the herd for a 2-bedroom apartment. My brain still scans every room for things that are out of place, and when I find one, and I always find one, I report it, loudly, immediately, whether you ask me to or not. You want me to stop? Fine. Give me something else to do with this brain. Because right now, it's running a full security operation on a household that doesn't need one, and the only outlet I've got is my voice, so I use it. The Queen never complained, I'm just saying. You know what nobody warns you about when you pick the funny-shaped dog? The funny shape has consequences. My legs are short. You noticed. Hard to miss. But what you probably didn't think about is what short legs attached to a long back actually means for the joints doing all the work down there. My hips are carrying a frame that wasn't… God, how do I put this? The engineering is ambitious. Let's leave it at that. Hip dysplasia. Sounds like something you'd skip over in a pamphlet, but it's basically my hip joint not fitting together right, grinding where it should be gliding, and over time it just wears down, slowly, quietly. I don't limp right away, I don't yelp, I just stop wanting to do the stairs. I hesitate before jumping on the couch. I'm a little slower getting up in the morning. And you think, oh, he's just lazy today. I'm not lazy. I'm calculating whether the pain is worth it. And here's what gets me. You could have caught it earlier. The weird sitting position, the bunny hop thing I do with my back legs sometimes. You thought it was cute. You filmed it. You put it on Instagram. That was my hips telling you something, and you gave it a heart emoji. I'm not mad. Okay, I'm a little mad. But mostly, I just need you to pay attention to the small stuff. The reluctance, the stiffness after a nap. That's not me getting old. That's me asking for help without knowing how. I need to come clean about something. The ankle thing. Yeah, I know. Look, when I nip at your heels, and I see your face when I do it, the shock, the betrayal, the "why would you do that to me" eyes. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not being mean. I'm hurting you. I am literally, physically, instinctively trying to move you from point A to point B because some part of my brain has decided you're a very slow, very disobedient cow. I don't love the comparison either, but here we are. This is what I was built for. Centuries of breeding, generations of dogs just like me, nipping at the ankles of animals 10 times their size to get them moving. And it worked. It worked really well. So well that the behavior got baked in deep. Deeper than your no command. Deeper than the treat you're waving around. Deeper than whatever that trainer told you about redirecting. You think, he'll grow out of it. I won't. That's not how instinct works. You don't grow out of instinct. You manage it. You give it somewhere to go. You teach me what you actually want me to do with all this drive. Because right now, the only thing moving slowly in my environment is you and your ankles, and my brain is screaming at me to fix that. I'm sorry about the kids, by the way. Running, screaming children are basically tiny livestock to me. I know that's not ideal. I'm working on it. Sort of. You think these legs are cute. You do. I've seen the way you look at me. This little waddle, the low rider stance, the way I kinda torpedo across the living room. You think it's adorable. You think I was designed this way on purpose. Like some engineer sat down and said, you know what'd be fun? Short. And yeah, technically someone did decide that, hundreds of years ago. Except the word for what I've got isn't cute, it's achondroplasia. That's a fancy way of saying my cartilage didn't develop right. My legs are short because my bones didn't grow the way bones are supposed to grow. That's not a feature. That's a skeletal condition. You just happen to think it looks good in a Christmas sweater. And the thing that gets me, nobody told you this. The breeder didn't sit you down and go, hey, just so you know, the thing that makes this dog look like a loaf of bread is actually a developmental disorder. They showed you a puppy photo. You said, I'll take one. Done. I'm not mad about existing. I like existing. I like herding your kids around the backyard and stealing socks, but let's not pretend these proportions are just whimsical. They come with a tab, and my spine's the one picking it up. I need to move, like actually move, not this leisurely stroll around the block where you check your phone 6 times and I sniff the same mailbox for 45 seconds because there's literally nothing else happening. You bought a short dog and assumed short meant lazy. I get it. The math made sense to you. Little legs, little energy, right? Sits on the couch, looks cute, maybe does a trick for a treat. That's the dog you thought you were getting. That is not the dog you got. I was bred to herd cattle. Cattle, human, animals that outweigh me by about, God, what's the number? 1,000 pounds? More? I spent centuries sprinting underneath things that could crush me, nipping at their ankles, dodging kicks, making split-second decisions at full speed across uneven terrain. That doesn't just go away because you put me in an apartment. So when I start losing it at 4 p.m., the zoomies, the barking, the thing where I grab your shoe and just run, that's not bad behavior. That's me trying to burn off a fuel tank you never bothered to empty. You gave me a 15-minute walk and a Kong toy and called it a day. I'm sitting here vibrating. An hour, minimum. And not just walking. I mean running, chasing, thinking, working. Give me something to solve. Give me something to herd. Give me the kids. Give me the cat. I don't care. Just give me a job. I am going out of my mind in this living room, and you're over there wondering why I chewed through the baseboard again. One day, and you won't notice when it starts, because I won't either, my back legs are gonna get weird, a little clumsy, a little slow to respond. You'll think I slipped, or I'm getting older, or maybe I pulled something roughhousing with the neighbor's dog. It's not that. Degenerative myelopathy, DM. It's a progressive spinal cord disease, and it hits Corgis more than almost any other breed. The nerves that tell my back legs what to do just start going dark, slowly, one signal at a time. My brain says move, and my legs go, we didn't get that memo. There's no pain. That's the part that messes people up. I won't cry, I won't whimper, I'll just start dragging. First a paw. Then both. Then you'll be looking at me from across the room and I'll be trying to stand up and my whole back half just won't cooperate. And I'll look at you like, why isn't this working anymore? There's no cure. There's physical therapy, there's wheels, there's management. But the disease doesn't stop. It doesn't reverse. It just keeps taking. And here's what really gets under my fur. A lot of this could have been screened for. The gene mutation that causes DM, it's testable. Before breeding, before I existed. A simple DNA test, and breeders would know which pairings are high risk. Some do it, a lot don't, because short legs sell, and nobody wants to talk about what might come later. You didn't know, I believe that, but somebody upstream did. I shed like I'm being paid for it. And honestly, at this point, I think I should be, because the sheer volume of fur I produce on a daily basis is, it's performance art. You could stuff a pillow every week, a good pillow, a king size. You knew I had a double coat. You read that somewhere, probably on a Pinterest board with a picture of a smiling corgi in a bandana. What you didn't understand, what nobody told you, is that double coat means I am running two completely independent fur operations at the same time. One's the soft undercoat, dense, insulating, basically thermal underwear made of fluff. The other's the outer coat, the guard hairs, the weatherproof layer. And both of them are falling off me at all times. There is no off-season, there is no pause. Spring, big blow. Fall, bigger blow. Summer and winter, just regular, constant, low-grade shedding that coats every surface you own in a fine golden mist. You vacuum on Tuesday. By Wednesday morning, your black pants look like you wrestled a sheep. That's not neglect, that's physics. I am a fur dispersal system with legs. And the thing that really gets me, you act surprised every single time. You pick up a clump from the couch and look at it like it personally betrayed you. Where did you think it was going? It was attached to me, and now it's attached to your couch. That's how this works. That's how it's always worked. You walked into this, you tall, lint-rolling catastrophe. I didn't hide this from you. Yeah, I do the thing. Legs out behind me, flat on the floor, belly down, looking like a tiny furry pancake. You take pictures, you post them, you send them to your group chat with the heart eyes emoji. I get it. It's a good look. But here's what none of you ever stop to think about. Why am I doing that? You think it's just a vibe? A quirky pose? Some kind of yoga I picked up? It's my hips, you cheerful, phone-wielding documentarian. My hips and my back. I'm stretching because my spine is basically a footnote attached to a rib cage, and my legs are… Look, I don't want to be dramatic, but my legs are roughly 4 inches long, and they're holding up a torso that was clearly designed for a bigger dog. The proportions are, let's call them ambitious. So when I sploot, I'm decompressing. I'm giving my lower back a break from the structural absurdity of being me. And the thing is, sometimes that sploot is the early warning sign. Hip dysplasia, degenerative myelopathy, intervertebral disc disease, these aren't rare for us. They're practically on the welcome packet. A Corgi who splays out flat might just be comfortable, sure, but a Corgi who does it constantly, who can't seem to sit any other way, who gets stiff getting up afterward, that's not cute content. That's a vet visit. So go ahead, take the picture. I look great, I know. But maybe, just maybe, also pay attention to what happens when I try to stand back up. That part doesn't make it to Instagram. You bought me because I was affordable. Compared to like a French bulldog or an English bulldog, I was a steal. Maybe $800, maybe $1,200 from a decent breeder. You thought, great, cute dog, reasonable price, no financial drama. That was the last reasonable bill you'll ever see. My back alone is gonna cost you. I've got a spine that's roughly the length of a dachshund's strapped to the frame of a much wider dog, and gravity is not on my side. One bad jump off the couch, and you're looking at a vet visit that starts at $400 and ends somewhere around, well, depends on whether they say conservative management or surgery. Surgery's $3 to $5 grand, easy. And that's if nothing goes wrong during recovery. Then there's the hip thing, the eye thing. Yeah, progressive retinal atrophy is on the list. The obesity thing, which is partly your fault because you keep giving me scraps and I'm physiologically incapable of saying no.
That one leads to diabetes, joint stress, and more back problems, which leads to more vet bills, which leads to you staring at your bank app like it just insulted your mother. And here's what really kills me. You didn't budget for any of this. You budgeted for shots and maybe a teeth cleaning. You did not budget for the MRI I might need at age 6 because I herniated a disc, doing exactly what you watched me do and didn't stop me from doing. I'm not saying you should have read the fine print. I'm saying there was fine print, and it was long and it was expensive.
You ever watch me stand at the bottom of a staircase? Really watch? There's a calculation happening, a risk assessment. You see hesitation and think, "Aw, he's nervous." No, I'm doing math. I'm looking at a vertical obstacle course designed by and for creatures with legs that actually reach things. And I'm figuring out whether my spine is gonna forgive me for this one. My legs are, okay, I'm just gonna say it. My legs are a structural compromise. 3 inches of leg holding up a full-sized dog torso. Every stair is basically a box jump for me. You walk upstairs. I launch myself, repeatedly. And then my back takes the invoice. The couch is worse. You pat the cushion like, "Come on up, buddy." Yeah, sure. Let me just vault myself onto a surface that hits me at chest height. And getting down is a controlled fall every single time. My front legs hit the floor and my back end just arrives, however it arrives. There's no dignity in it. And here's what actually gets me. You'll watch me do this. Watch me struggle, watch me hesitate, watch the weird little bunny hop thing I do to clear the last step. And you think it's cute. You laugh, you film it. Meanwhile, I'm one bad landing from a disc problem that'll have me dragging my back legs at age 6. IVDD. Look it up. It's basically the warranty on my spine is garbage. Short legs, long back, and gravity doesn't care that I'm adorable. I have 2 coats. 2. An undercoat that could insulate a cabin in Norway, and a top coat over that, just in case the first one wasn't enough. I am, and I mean this literally, wearing a fur jacket inside a fur jacket. In July, you moved to Phoenix, or Austin, or wherever this swamp of a zip code is, and you brought me.
And now you're standing at the back door at 2 p.m. going, "Don't you want to go outside?" No, I do not want to go outside. Outside is a crime scene. The pavement is 140 degrees. I know because I can feel it through my paws, which are, I should remind you, about 2 inches from the ground. My entire undercarriage is basically hovering over a skillet. And I can't cool down the way you can. You sweat. Your whole body sweats. I pant. That's it. That's my one move. I pant and I hope for the best. You ever try to thermoregulate a double-coated, low-clearance body through a single mouth hole? It's not efficient. Then you go, maybe I should shave him. Please, please do not shave me. That undercoat isn't just insulation from cold. It's insulation from everything, sun included. You shave me, I burn, and the coat doesn't grow back right. It comes in patchy, weird, and worse at doing its job than before. You're not helping. You're vandalizing my entire cooling system because you didn't Google it first. I was bred for coastal Wales. Damp, 60 degrees, overcast. That's my operating temperature. This isn't it. You look at my eyes and you melt. I know you do. I've watched it happen. The head tilt, the soft awe, the immediate treat. And look, I'm not above using that. I've been weaponizing these eyes since I was 8 weeks old, and I'm not going to stop now. But here's what you're not seeing while you're busy being charmed. My eyes are kind of a mess, genetically speaking. Progressive retinal atrophy. PRA, if you want to sound like you know what you're talking about at the vet. It's a slow fade. The cells in the back of my eye just quit, gradually. Night vision goes first, then peripheral. Then it just keeps going. And the kicker is, I won't tell you it's happening. Not on purpose, I just adapt. I memorize the furniture layout. I get a little more careful on walks when it's dark. You won't notice until I start bumping into things you moved. And by then, it's been going on for months, maybe longer. Then there's cataracts, glaucoma, persistent pupillary membranes, which sounds like a prog rock band, but is actually a thing where tissue that was supposed to dissolve before I was born just didn't. It sits there across my iris like cobwebs in an attic nobody cleaned out. And none of this shows up on the outside. That's the whole problem. My eyes still look big and brown and perfect. You're out here falling for the presentation while the hardware's quietly degrading underneath. A DNA test would have flagged half of this before I was ever born. Just saying. You grab the keys, you grab the bag, you do that little pat on my head, the one that's supposed to hold me over for 9 hours, and you walk out the door. And I just stand there, staring at it, for longer than either of us would be comfortable admitting. You think I curl up on the couch and nap. That's what you tell yourself, right? He's fine, he just sleeps all day. I don't sleep all day. I pace, I sit by the window, I go check the door, I come back to the window, I hear a car that kinda sounds like yours, and my whole chest lights up, and then it passes, and I just sit back down again. I was bred to work alongside people, literally alongside, shoulder to ankle all day, moving cattle across Welsh hills. My entire operating system was built around being next to a person and having a job to do. You gave me a studio apartment and a chew toy shaped like an avocado, and then you left. I'm not being dramatic. I'm not acting out. When I chew the doorframe, that's not revenge. That's panic wearing a disguise. When I bark at nothing for 20 minutes, that's me trying to fill the silence with something, anything, because the quiet in this place after you leave is, honestly, it's kind of unbearable. And the worst part, you come home and go, "Did you miss me?" Like it's cute, like it's a joke. Yeah, I missed you. I missed you the whole time,
every single minute of it. You love bringing up the queen thing. Every single person I meet. Oh, the queen had Corgis. Yeah, she did. You know what she also had? Ground staff, veterinary teams on call, entire estates for us to run around on. She wasn't keeping us in a 2-bedroom with a balcony the size of a bath mat. But that's not even what bugs me. What bugs me is that somehow, somewhere along the line, the Royal Association turned my breed into a novelty, a cute little palace ornament. People see the stumpy legs and the big ears and they think, that's a fun little dog. I am not a fun little dog. I am a cattle herder with a low center of gravity and a bite force that would genuinely surprise you. The breeding though, and I mean this, the breeding is where it gets rough. You people spent decades selecting for shorter and shorter legs. You know what comes with that? Spinal problems, disc disease, the kind of back pain where one wrong jump off the couch and suddenly I can't feel my hind legs anymore. That's not a defect. That's a feature you designed on purpose and then called adorable. My legs are load-bearing structures for a body that's, honestly, a little too long for the engineering. Like someone stretched a normal dog on a rack and then chopped the stilts in half. I didn't ask for this architecture. You people voted on it at kennel clubs and gave each other ribbons, and I'm the one who lives in it. You Googled Corgi lifespan once, saw 12 to 15 years, and figured you had time, right? That number's floating around in your head like a promise. It's not a promise. It's a ceiling, and most of us don't touch it. Here's what that number doesn't tell you. The back problems I already mentioned, those start early, sometimes by 5 or 6. The hip dysplasia? Yeah, we get that too. Even though nobody warns you, because we're not German shepherds, so it doesn't make the brochure. Degenerative myelopathy? That's the one where my hind legs slowly, gradually stop working. Not from an injury, just from being a corgi long enough. And then there's the weight thing. You people overfeed us because we're short and it's hard to tell when we're getting heavy. I can't exactly step on a scale and read it myself. But every extra pound on this frame is pressing down on a spine that was already compromised by design. It's like loading cargo onto a bridge that's already got cracks in it. Or maybe, I don't know, like stuffing a suitcase until the zipper's bulging and then acting shocked when it blows open at the airport. The vets know, the good ones anyway. They see corgis come in at 7, 8 years old, already moving like they're 12, and you're standing there going, but the internet said 15. The internet says a lot of things. My body says something different. Maybe start listening to the one that's actually in the room with you. You saw one on Instagram, didn't you? Some breeder posted a photo of a corgi with this ridiculous flowing cotton candy coat and you lost your entire mind. Oh my God, a fluffy corgi, I need one. Yeah, let me tell you what you're actually looking at. That coat? It's a genetic fault. I'm not being dramatic. It's literally called a fluff gene. It's recessive. 2 copies of it and you get a corgi that looks like somebody stuffed a Pomeranian inside a loaf of bread. Reputable breeders screen for it. They don't breed for it. You know who breeds for it? People who realized you'd pay more for the version that photographs better. And here's what nobody mentions when they're charging you double. That coat is a nightmare to maintain. It mats, constantly. Behind the ears, under the legs, around the tail. Everywhere friction exists, which on a dog built 6 inches off the ground is everywhere. Regular corgis already shed enough to insulate a house. Fluffy corgis shed that plus a second, finer undercoat that gets into fabric at a molecular level. They overheat faster. They pick up every burr, twig, and mud clump within a 5-mile radius. They need brushing that borders on a part-time job. But you don't hear that part, because the breeder is not going to lead with, "By the way, this dog's coat is a full-time maintenance commitment, and also it's a fault we deliberately selected for because you'll pay $1,800 for it." They lead with the photo, and the photo works every single time. You bought me because I was funny. Short legs, big ears, that weird little waddle run I do. I saw your face the first time I did zoomies across the living room. You were delighted. You filmed it. You showed your friends. Look at my silly little potato dog. Cool. Great. Glad I could entertain you. Now it's 8 months later and you're Googling, "Why does my Corgi bite ankles?" and "Corgi won't stop barking," and "Is my Corgi aggressive?" Like this is some mystery that just fell out of the sky. I am a herding dog. I have been a herding dog for over 1,000 years. I nip because nipping is how I move cattle. I bark because barking is how I control a field. I'm not aggressive. I'm doing my job in a 2-bedroom apartment because you didn't bother to find out what I was before you brought me home. And the worst part? When I get too much, when the nipping gets sharper because I'm bored out of my skull, when the barking gets louder because nobody's giving me anything to actually do, you don't think I failed this dog. You think this dog has problems. And then I end up on some rescue page with a bio that says needs an experienced owner. Like that's my fault. Like I showed up broken. I wasn't broken. I was exactly what I was always going to be. You just didn't ask. Shelters are full of dogs like me. Corgis who were funny for 6 months and inconvenient by month 9. That's not a dog problem. That's a you problem. So, now you know. That's it. That's the whole file. The spine, the legs, the hips, the shedding, the barking, the slow fade of things you won't notice until it's too late. You've got the full picture now. No filter. No bandana. No slow-motion zoomy clip with a ukulele soundtrack. And look, I'm not saying don't love me. Love me, please. I am extremely lovable. I've got the ears, I've got the wiggle, I've got that thing where I tilt my head and you forget every bad thing that's ever happened to you. I'm good at this. I was born for this part. But love me with your eyes open. Not the version of me you saw on a TikTok at 2 a.m. Not the meme, not the funny little potato dog who exists purely to make your group chat laugh. Love the actual dog standing in front of you. The one with the genetic baggage, the ticking spine, the brain that's running a herding operation whether you signed up for it or not. I didn't choose this body. I didn't choose the short legs, or the long back, or the double coat that's slowly colonizing every surface in your home. You chose me, and that means something. That means you owe me more than cute nicknames and the occasional belly rub. Learn what I am. Feed me right. Move me enough. Watch for the signs I can't tell you about in words. The stiffness, the hesitation, the little things that don't make the highlight reel. Take me to the vet before something breaks, not after. And for the love of everything, stop letting me jump off the couch unsupervised. I'm not asking you to fix what centuries of breeding did to me. I'm just asking you to stop pretending it didn't happen. I'm right here. I've always been right here. Just see me, the whole me, not just the cute parts.